You're watering and you're mowing and you're maintaining your backyard every single week. And I want to ask you an honest question. Who is that really for? Because nobody sees your backyard but you. And you putting stripes all in your backyard. You're making it look like a golf course or a baseball diamond. And it looks nice, but you don't even go in your backyard. The only time you go in your backyard is to cut the grass. Now, I can understand the front yard. Curb appeal, neighbors, HOA. I understand that. You don't want people in your business. I understand that. We're there too with that. So I completely understand that. And your backyard is growing something that you can't eat. It's not improving your health. You're not even spending any real time in it other than to go outside and cut the grass. You have a plot of land, however big it is, that's returning nothing to you, no type of value to you. And that's what I want to talk about in today's video. So welcome back. This is Jermaine with GrowFit Florida, and what I just said connects directly to your health, your food, and what you're actually building with that time and your space that you already have. Subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. So a little bit about me from the past. I spent 11 years as a certified personal trainer and former gym owner. And I remember one of the hardest things to do was to get people to accept that, hey, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. When you're young, you can fake it, you can run it off, you can sweat it out. Your metabolism covers you and you keep going like everything is fine. But somewhere in about your mid-30s, your body stops covering you. By 40, it starts sending you bills on that lifestyle that you just put on a tab. And you don't even understand what's going on or why. You're doing everything right, but in the gym, but you're still eating bad. You still feel like it's something off, even though you might be running miles, you're training hard. It's just as we get older, you start to realize that the most important thing isn't the gym necessarily. It's still important. Movement is always important. It's what you eat. It's what you're putting on your plate. It's the things that you consume. That's what's going to make all the difference in the world as we get older, even more so than exercise, which I am not saying that you shouldn't exercise, because I'm a fitness guy myself and exercise is very important. But what you eat matters the most. So I come back to that yard behind your house, your backyard. You already are spending time on it. You're already spending money on it. The only question worth asking is whether it's actually working for you. One of the best things that I've ever heard goes like this. If you have a problem that man or money can solve, then you ain't got no problem. Just think about that for a second. The two biggest reasons that people that they give, at least to me, that why they don't want to grow their own food is time and money. But you're already there. I put out a video showing you how I started our garden for just $50, and you can do it too. So what is the real reason? $50? Most of the time, the real reason is we just haven't decided yet that it's actually worth it, to be honest. Like that I'm finding and talking to a lot of different people. Because a problem that a person can solve, or that if you have enough money you can fix, is really not a problem. But when you start getting those health scares, when you start getting blood tests and you get a blood test on a Friday and you don't get results until Monday, and now you have to spend the whole entire weekend like, what's going on? What's happening? Why did they bring me in here? What's going on? Those are the type of things that's filling up our head with unnecessary fear, unnecessary doubts and questions that we have that, yeah, you know, some things you can't avoid, but a lot of things we really can. A lot of things that if we just understood the resources that we have. If you have a backyard, that's a huge resource that many people do not have. And if you're saying to yourself, I don't have a backyard, your parents might have a backyard. And in your parents' backyard, they might not be doing anything in their backyard. And now you can serve both your parents by helping them with some healthy things that you're growing, and you can serve you and your family. So I'm pretty sure there's always a backyard that you can find. There's always a backyard, brothers, sisters, aunties, uncles, mom, dad, grandparents, somebody, yourself. Hey, now I want to be clear. I'm not telling anyone to build what I have out here, a food forest. It takes years to get to that. That's not where you start. My old coach used to talk about making healthy deposits, small ones, consistently, one deposit at a time into your account, into your health account. And later on in life, you can start cashing those out. So if you're listening to this right now and you're in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, imagine you start every single day doing the right thing with your health and just disciplines such as eating, picking this over that, or starting a garden in your backyard, growing some of the healthy herbs that you can take daily. Imagine if you start doing that every single day. You start making deposits into your own self, into your own health, into your own well-being, into your family's well-being. Now, when you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, and 50, 67, you're still young. Let's say when you're in your 80s, you can start cashing those out. You can start saying, you know what? I put in a string of 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. You can start cashing those out. You can start getting the benefit of what you did earlier in life, and you feel good. When people are walking up to you, what's your secret? Your secret isn't what you're doing right now. Your secret is what you did 40 years ago or 20 years ago. And it's hard for some people to understand because we live in a society where everybody thinks that success happened the next day, that what you do right now today, if it doesn't work, is never going to work. That's the type of society that we live in, unfortunately. And it's a few people who understand, and it's a lot of people who want to understand, but they'll get it if you explain it to them. And that's what I'm trying to do right here as far as your health and your garden. We all know the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is to get one in the ground right now. And if you have space in your backyard, what better time than to start planting your tree right now in your backyard? So let's start with 3 things. Grow something that you can eat regularly, something that you enjoy, something that is good. Actually grow something that you like, and grow something that is genuinely nourishment for your body. Some things that you can't find in the store, but that is good for you, or some things, whatever ailment that you might have, and you're like, I want to see a natural route for this. Talk to your doctor first, of course, but grow some things like that. Grow some things that's going to aid in your health and your recovery and your well-being. Grow some things like that. We don't need to make this more complicated than what it is. Back in the day, if people had the yard sizes that we had back in the day, it would be filled with food. We've gotten away from it, and look what's happened to our society. Look what's happened to our culture and our health, and our kids understand. We live now with kids, they can't even go outside. The sun affects them. The sun bothers them. They can't even go outside. They don't want to do work. They just want to stay in the house all day. When we were growing up, we couldn't be in the house, and now they can't go out. Well, maybe if our community here, our gardening community here, maybe we can, at least with our kids, we can get them outside to come do some work in the yard, and we can slowly start getting another generation of kids who they still technology sound, and they're still going to do what they're going to do, maybe tablets, video games, whatever. All right, they still going to do that, but they're grounded in some hard work in the backyard. They know how to grow their own food. They can pick up bags of soil and not pull a hamstring. They could do things like that. They could be in the sun for more than 20 minutes without falling on the ground. What is this hitting me? Come on, son. But that's what this video is about. You have a backyard, you use it. Like, it's a blessing to have a backyard. It's a blessing to have space. To me, when I see someone with just an empty backyard and you're not doing nothing with that blessing that you have, I don't know what, you're trying to flex on me? You're trying to flex on your neighbors? You have empty space. You have so much money, you have empty space. Your health is so good that you don't need to do nothing in your backyard. Your whole family is taken care of. Your whole street, your whole neighbors, everybody is taken care of. You have no homeless people when you're driving on your route to take your kids to school or to work or the grocery store. You don't see anyone you can grow some food for and deliver it to them, and you can do that on a regular. You just have an empty backyard and you're just flexing on all of us. That's how I see empty backyard. I don't know. Not trying to call anyone out, but I'm just saying how I see it. And if you have health issues, if you have any type of problems, or you're older and you can't really get in your backyard, I'm not talking about you. But if you are able, if God still giving you the strength to go outside and do something, and your backyard is by choice, it's just grass, who you flexing on? That's all I'm saying. Who you flexing on? We grow food. The people I know grow food. I know people who have little and they grow a lot of food, and I know people who have a lot and don't even need to do it, and they grow a lot of food. So who are you flexing on? So last point I want to make. I tried to keep this video short, but y'all know I can't. I have a lot to say, but I tried. Last point is, when I talk to younger people, and when I mean younger people, anyone that's under, let's say, 30 years old. At this point, stage in my life, if you're under 30, you're a young man, young woman to me. It is what it is. But when I talk to younger people, and that's from family to friends to people, if I'm out doing anything, any of my kids and athletic events, and even if I'm at Publix, when I talk to them and they tell me some of the things that's happening, that's going on with their life, and somehow the garden gets brought up in there. Somehow. I've found that football and the garden can solve just about anything in life. But I was just joking. But in the garden, and when we talk and I tell them, hey, you should start a garden because it could help you with this, or you should start a garden because it could help you with that, a lot of them laugh, and a lot of them say, well, maybe when I get to your age, or my grandpa had a garden, maybe when I'm 50 or 60 years old or 70. Everybody, that's that young crowd, talks about gardening is something you do when you're retired and you have time, and that's how they think, and that's their focus. And I always bring up golf. You can't tell me that when you were in your teens and your 20s, for most of us, that you even thought about golfing. You were playing basketball, you were running, you were playing baseball, football, maybe martial arts. Even if you weren't playing a sport, you were in a band or a choir, or you were doing something that golfing, you're like, that is for, oh, I'm not about to walk and swing. I'm not even going to do. You thought golfing was such an old thing. And then what happened? You got a job, and to advance your job, you need to get out on the golf course, and you need to talk to people to socialize, and you start liking it. Or you had an injury, you got a little bit older, or even younger, you had an injury and you want to do something that's still athletic, that keeps your competitive drive going. So you took up golfing, and you're like, I love this. Or you went somewhere and you was just for a birthday party and you start golfing, and you're like, this is an incredible sport. But now you're 40 years old, or you're 50 years old, or you're 60 years old, whatever age, and you're like, man, I wish I would have started when I was younger. I'm driving it now 300 yards or whatever. If I was younger with the strength I had back then, you're telling yourself I could have went pro. You know, you're thinking that. It's so much lost time because we think that this is for the older generation or the older crowd, until you get into it and you realize, like, this is for me too. So just give it a chance is all I'm saying. Give it a chance. And if you're younger and you're watching this and you have a backyard and you're not using it for anything, start growing some food. Because when you put these fruit trees and when you put all this in the ground and you start your family, your kids are already going to have established food in the background, in the backyard, and we don't know what's going on with the world. You guys heard about that cruise ship with that new virus and this and that. We don't. The world is just too crazy now. Everything's happening. We have no control over it. The only thing that we have just the slightest bit of control over is what we can grow in our backyard still, before they try to take that away. That's the little bit of control that we have. And if you have the space, grow something. Just try it. Even if you don't eat the food. I actually know people who grow things in their backyard. They don't prefer it because they're growing what they grow in their zone, but they don't really like it that much. But they're doing it because, number one, is for their mental health. It makes your backyard look nice. And number two, is exercise for them. It's like a meditation for them. They're outside getting exercise, and it's like a active meditation, walking and gardening. Then that's why they grow the food. So even if you don't want to eat, just start a garden for your exercise, for your well-being, for your health. Start a garden that help people learn how to garden, help your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, to give them something to do, to involve them in something that's more than just a tablet. It's hard work. Gardening is hard work. It's not easy. It's not, especially the more you start to grow, it's a lot of hard work. It's a great way to show people that you care about and that you love, to get them started in hard work. A lot of people now don't know how to do hard things. The gift you can give to somebody is teach them how to do some hard things. And hard things start to become easy, it start to become enjoyable. And then you look back and I don't know why I didn't start this sooner. So, well, I appreciate all of you for watching this video, especially to the end. If you watched it all the way there, I appreciate you. I just had to get that off my chest. It was on my chest. I was just thinking about it, and the reason why I was thinking about it, you know what, I'm gonna save that for the Patreon. Head over to Patreon right now, and I'm gonna share exactly why. So now I can't stay on here, but just head over to Patreon. It's gonna be good. But I appreciate all of you for watching, and I hope this video again inspires you. If you have someone who's on that fence, send it to them. Hey, look, let's get our garden started, or get yours started. You can do it too. So I'll tell you, you don't have to know how to do something to get started. You just have to have that motivation to start, and you'll learn how to do it. I don't know how many videos right now that you can watch that's going to teach you how to get started. So go back and watch them and just get started. So I really appreciate you guys, and I hope that you are having a beautiful day. Hope your gardens are looking good. I hope everyone's garden is looking really good. And until that next video, God bless.